My name is Reed Blinn of Newmark Grubb Knight Frank. We have a tenant representation team providing commercial real estate services in the Philadelphia region. Today, I'm very pleased to welcome Mike Daley, CEO of OrthoGenerics, for our Citybizlist interview. Welcome, Mike.
Originally, the first company to apply for Hyalgen approval, when they first applied, they had a large clinical study. They thought it was going to be regulated as a drug like it was in Italy. And by the way, the second, a product that was approved at the same time is called Supartz, and that was approved in Japan in 1987, also as a drug. So when they originally made their application in the US, they assumed it was going to be a drug. And then the FDA says, well, you have to ask us to determine who's going to. It's called a letter of determination. So they reached out, and the FDA made a determination. It wasn't the company that said, I want a drug or a device approval. The FDA made based upon that they were already regulating hyaluronic acid. By the way, hyaluronic acid is in all your soft tissue. Hyaluronic acid is all in all the high-end cosmetics because it's incredibly hygroscopic, keeps your skin moist. When you lose hyaluronic acid in your skin, you can start to get wrinkles, etc. It's also injected like Restylane. It's a little bit more cross-linked to fill wrinkles and things. It's in the vitreous humor of your eye, the liquid in your eye. So we think through hyaluronic acid, we walk on hyaluronic acid, and we see through hyaluronic acid. So the FDA said, well, we've already approved a similar hyaluronic acid for ophthalmic surgery. So when you have surgery on the anterior part of your eye, all the fluid leaks out, and if you replace it with just, water or saline, your eye actually shrivels up, and because of the physical characteristics of the fluid. So you want to kind of recapitulate what the fluid is in the eye. And they did that with hyaluronic acid. That's the predominant fluid in a component in the eye. So the FDA had already approved products as a fluid replacement. So if it's a fluid replacement, there's not much biology going on. It's probably mechanical. Hyaluronic acid is extremely viscous, and so it essentially cushions between the ends of your bone, helps cushion that compression, as well as with the cartilage, and it also is very, very lubricating in stations. So there's another molecule that interacts with it, but essentially it's a good lubricant. So if you ever had hyaluronic acid and you put it in your hands, it's almost like rubbing together oil, only it dissipates very quickly. So the FDA made that determination that they were decided to do it as a device, and that's how it was. So we already know in the drug industry, if you have a product that's equivalent, and if you have a product that is not covered by patents, you make an application. It's called a generic drug application, okay? Showing equivalence and showing that there's no difference between those. So it's a much more accelerated profile that does not require new clinical data. So you do not have to demonstrate in clinical trials the safety and effectiveness of a generic drug if you can show that you're chemically and operationally identical to the drug that was originally approved. So this is what happens when drugs go off patents. The Congress passed back in the 70s a process for which you could get, in the 80s, a process by which you could get a Class 2 medical device approved called the 510K process. The 510K process says, okay, there's a product out there, I'm the same as that product, and it's called a predicate. You cite a predicate, which is the same as far as I'm concerned of a brand and a generic drug, that relationship. I'm the same as this product, so therefore the burden of proof for clinical data for safety and efficacy is much lower. About 90 95% of all devices approved in the US are approved through a 510K process because the barrier to entry is much lower, okay? Class 3 medical devices didn't have that process. But there was a process that was applied or passed in 1997 that did allow that process, but from 1997 to 2015, there's not a single product that was ever approved through this, if you will, generic Class 3 medical device pathway. That's what I was trying to take advantage of.